I've been meticulously crafting my words to express the various circles of hell this drama took me through.
I taste shit.
To put it simply, I didn't like this drama at all. Let's begin on a positive note on things I found enjoyable in the drama. And there isn't much, because after about the first 4 episodes, the plot takes a suicidal nosedive into mediocrity. The first positive thing about this drama is the acting, both from the leads and the supporting cast. Everyone was bringing their A game, and because of that, it seemed like the show had substance, like there was a story to tell. Spoiler alert, there wasn't. It was just a series of so-called twists that were piled one after the other to make it seem more gripping. Kim Ji-won's styling was also fantastic. She looked really, really good. The music was also really good. And finally, Hae-in being crystal clear of her indifference to Eun-sung's advances. She makes it abundantly obvious from start to finish that she has zero interest in him.
Ew to the nah, to the nah, nah, nah.
Thank goodness for that, because anything otherwise would have made watching this unbearable. What else? Okay, so the negatives. The writing. All my cons for this drama can be attributed to the writing. I don't think it's a stretch to say that the initial episodes of this drama led me to believe the story was going to be about complex relationships existing between the members of the Hong family plus Baek Hyun-woo. Stripped bare of all the glamour, I expected an exploration of the complex relationship between Hae-in and her mother, the chairman and his first son, Hae-in's brother and his wife, Hyun-woo and the Hong family, and most importantly, Hyun-woo and Hae-in. Instead, it became this convoluted makchang nonsense.
Utter crap.
I honestly didn't like the terminal illness plotline when it was introduced, but I was hoping it would be a fake diagnosis, but it wasn't. So I was like, okay, this would be a wake-up call to Hae-in and Hyun-woo to really think about whether they were willing to let the other person go from their life. Instead, it became this kind of crutch that was used and disposed of for the convenience of the plot. The amnesia was so conveniently and selectively against Hyun-woo. With Eun-sung and her work and the rest of her family, her brain was mostly fine. But with Hyun-woo...
Wait a minute! Who are you?
And after all that, the writer didn't even have the guts to kill Hae-in's character. Instead, a miracle sprung from nowhere.
Pathetic.
It's very apparent from the first episode that the Hong family do not like or respect Hyun-woo, especially the respect part. They acknowledge that he's smart, trustworthy, and dependable, of course, but they would probably prefer if he was just an employee and not a member of the family. Hyun-woo goes from wanting to escape them so badly to welcoming them into his home with not even a hint of resentment. The near constant set-downs he got from them is never really addressed, but by the end, everyone is hugging, kissing, holding hands, and singing Kumbaya.
You're joking.
Every time I see the childhood connection trope tacked onto a K-drama, I just lose respect for the love story the writer had been building up until that point. What does it matter that they briefly came in contact with each other at some point, or that he saved her from drowning when it doesn't add anything to the story? But the writers just had to shove this fated, meant-to-be nonsense into the story. It's one thing for your family to look down on your husband. It's another for you to not only not stand up for him, but to also put him down. At work, in front of your co-workers, who know you're married. I must confess that my love for Kim Ji-won, the actress, made watching Hae-in bearable in those scenes where she just very intentionally and publicly treats Hyun-woo like garbage stuck to her shoe. Every single time things became hard, Hyun-woo becomes the first and easiest thing for her to throw away. I feel like a big part of why their relationship got so bad is her. I can understand becoming closed off and not being a person who is willing to open up about your grief and pain, because I am that kind of person. However, Hae-in is not just closed off. She's closed off and mean. Super mean to Hyun-woo. And the audacity she had to be shocked that the men wanted to divorce her earlier on. Being hurt, I would understand. Being angry, I would also understand. But being shocked? Girl, please. Haynes' younger brother and wife. Another plotline that was messed up. So, what the story is basically telling me is that if her ex had treated her and her child right, she never would have been remorseful. Because the way the story is framed, she only fights back and runs away from him because he was mistreating her and her child specifically. I don't dislike the idea of this kind of con artist falling in love with the person they are conning story, but most of the relationship needed to be shown. How she fell for him, instances of her being conflicted about lying and plotting to destroy a man she was falling in love with. Up until the takeover occurred, she seemed pretty proud of her work and eager to leave his stupid ass. And of course, they had to have their own stupid childhood connection plotline because one wasn't enough for this drama. Speaking of the takeover plan, this has got to be one of the silliest takeover I've seen in a show. This wasn't just some small kiosk that started operating yesterday. This was a business empire run by 3 generations of a family, and that period of time meant they would have built a very stable network of people in politics, law, banks, law enforcement, and a number of other industries. You can't expect that someone not from the home family, not previously involved in said business, could just come and snatch everything away and have things running smoothly for them.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Even more ridiculous was the home family having no means to fight back or doing anything really. And the way this particular ridiculous plotline took center stage and ran till the end was not my cup of tea. All the drama needed was already present in the home family itself, and I wish they had capitalized on that. If they really needed to make things messy, a more interesting option in my opinion would have been making Hyunwoo cheat or having interest in someone else. Ooh, that would have been messy. There's a list of other things that irk me, like Hyunwoo written to be literally perfect, the several failed assassination attempts on Hyunwoo, a married couple acting like teenage virgins, Unsung's character, Unsung's mother, and 1,000 other side plots that were underdeveloped and took screen time away from our main couple. All in all, I'm not even angry. I'm just so disappointed. In years, I can't think of a pairing I was as excited for as Kim Ji-won and Kim Soo-hyun. The 2 actors who had proved their mettle in previous shows I saw them in and still did the same here because they were the only reason I watched Queen of Tears for as long as I did. I sincerely look forward to seeing them in other shows in the future. Hopefully, better ones.